there's two answers to this, right? Money association can hold a lot of fears for people. Oh my God, we can have so many programs and so many limitations. Like I grew up, my mum and that saying money doesn't grow on trees. Didn't really think I was even worthy to have all those things. Kind of like there's so much entanglement with money, right? So one of my suggestions would be to look at your money programs. You can look at any kind of programs and look at where my limitations lie, because your limitations, it will probably go back to reference points or information that really aren't even about money, right? It will be about the past, about lack, about self-worth, about denials being said. That one's for you, denial. Like denying myself those things. Why would I be denying myself? But when it comes to abundance and creating that, it is almost an extension of us. So remember how I talk about, as you go through this program, the key to transformation and the key to healing and all of those things is raising our consciousness level, right? It's expanding self. And so we are vibrating at the set level. And the more that we step into truth and our divinity, which is taking away all the things that aren't true, doing this healing process, looking at our beliefs that don't serve us, looking at all of these restrictions that we have, the more that we almost elevate and kind of come into this higher presence, right? So the vibrational frequency is only what the universe will read back, or like it mirrors it, right? And that's how we create and manifest. We've got to be in alignment to what we want to create at these higher levels. Money would be no different. So again, it's almost like actioning self is being said to me now for you. It's almost like living in alignment to that truth and what I'm here to do. I see a lot of people spend their whole life chasing money and they almost push it away, right? But then they go and look and redirecting themselves and starting to heal all of these old programs and all of these beliefs that are in conflict. So I might say I want money, but I don't feel deserving. And it's always that unconscious side that kind of runs everything, right? And again, we wouldn't even elevate if we didn't feel deserving of it. So it's almost like raising our energetics to match that financial abundance frequency to call that in. But I think I've talked another time about how money kind of doesn't exist. And for every person, its energetic, almost like frequency, makeup, likeness, information will be completely different from somebody else, right? So the more that we kind of live within alignment to ourselves and we start to create what we're here to create, I won't have to worry about abundance, because I am kind of living in alignment within myself to that. It just talks to me now about, it says, I don't really think I should be. I think you always think that your path progression is completely wrong and you go to step into it and then you somehow step out. It's almost like, I don't want to say a sabotage thing because it's different to that. It's like a protection thing. I feel like you're probably destined for kind of bigger things in yourself, but you don't believe that you could even possibly do that. So therefore, people can have many ways of procrastination, as being said, that it's almost like I will misalign and then I might realign. And this dance and self of misalignment and realignment is actually the one that really just, it's like sending mixed messages to the universe. Does that make sense? Yeah. So the process you're doing with me is the process to release all these mixed messages and all of these things. But you can be doing more work with yourself in that, kind of going back to fear. What am I really afraid of? It sounds funny, like there's pathways in the amygdala, right? And that's the fight or flight response system of the nervous system. And so we can have a lot of fear responses, but we can sometimes see success and failure. It's like they've been completely interlinked. I feel like you don't even know what it means to succeed. And what does it mean? Like, I just feel like success and failure. I just feel like I want to just, it's shaking at me. And I'm going, what side am I looking at? What side? I think you're kind of worried, like you've probably felt like you've failed so many times, right? And so then I get adverse to kind of even wanting to step into more, because it seems like when I step into more, I suddenly am over on this deregulation side again. So I feel like there's old trauma that sits there, really old fears. If you're good at tuning into your connection, you got that within you, right? Because you've had it before. You need to step back into that and develop it. I could go on and do a process, and I could shut down and, come into my body, and I could look ahead, and it's almost like I want to see my path progression, right? So I could say, show me my path progression. And then I might say, if I can't see it, because maybe sight isn't my gift, maybe hearing is my gift, or maybe feeling, I might say, like, show me my path progression. And then I might say, what am I looking at? And then I might have this knowing and go, oh, there's two paths in front of me, right? And I'm like suddenly on one, but I kind of jump off. And so then I go, why is there two paths? What am I doing? Why am I doing this dance in myself? And then I might have this other knowing or this other answer come through. And there might be one real key restriction is being said to me that would almost unlock time and space. Time and space is like the physical realm is time and space, but at the higher realms, it doesn't exist, right? I feel like you've got this, I don't know, it's like there's this really amazing presence, but you don't believe it's possible. But you allowed also people to take it. Remember how we've talked about that? It's like you're not owning it fully. If you were to fully own yourself, you would probably hear higher information around that path progression and what that clear choice is. Because right now, I feel like your choices are all kind of just clouded, and that does not help with really stepping into something and owning the whole lot of it. If I have doubts, I won't own the whole lot, and it will be an easy escape, it's saying to me. There's a question. Why can't I put myself out there? I feel like I'm worried someone's going to come in and negate me as being said, like say I'm wrong. Oh my God, if I lived my life worrying that somebody was going to constantly tell me I was wrong, I'm not going to go anywhere because they might deem me as wrong, but it doesn't mean it's true. It's like you've got falsified perceptions of self. It's like you've listened. It's like even that healer, that situation that we've talked about that almost took your gifts and then redistributed them to everyone else at that place. Why could that even happen? It's because you haven't owned them yourself. It's like if we don't fully own something, that's sovereignty, right? It's like I'm taking full ownership for myself. And if I haven't fully owned my gifts, believe me, they're like up for grabs.